Throw 3 darts at the map. Toss in 3 wildly distinctive personalities plus 3 great artsy craft projects, and you've got a craft show you just can't miss.
I love getting my hands dirty.
We're hitting the road to check out crafters coast to coast. Hi, I'm Angela Martinez. Welcome to Crafters Coast to Coast. We have found dedicated crafters all over the country. They're willing to take chances, and on their creative journey, they let nothing get in their way. Our first crafter is no exception. The Bayou brings us a potter who slips and scores her way into a creation that truly takes the cake. If you have a sweet tooth, beware.
It's rush hour here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Baton Rouge, that means red stick in French. My name is Leanne McClurg and I make pottery. My studio is right behind my house. Check it out. What I'm going to make today is a cake stand or cake platter or dessert something. I'm going to start with some clay. Take some clay and lay it out on a board. And I'm going to make it flat. And it takes a little bit of effort. Once I'm done rolling, I'm going to lay out a pattern and cut out the shape. Voila! I like to smooth it out so that the edge of this is going to seem very round and full. So while this is going to be the top of my cake stand, this isn't exactly the top of my cake stand. This is going to be a template for a mold that I'm going to make so that I can keep the cake stand nice and flat. Now I'm going to make a plaster mold, and the first thing I have to do is mix up the plaster. Finally, it's hot in there. I'm going to take a piece of flashing, and I'm going to wrap it around the outside of it, and that's going to keep all the plaster inside. It's a little lumpy. Okay, now I have to let it sit for 24 hours before I can take it apart and use it. Now I'm going to take the mold apart. There it is. I just got to clean this up a little bit, and then I can lay in some red earthenware clay inside and begin to make my cake stand, some pottery. This is the clay that's going to be my cake stand. Now I'm going to take the clay and lay it into the mold that I created earlier. Now I'm going to make a coil. I'm going to score the edges so that it gets a good adhesion. It's called slip and score. So first we score, kind of rough up these edges a little, and then we slip. And slip is just clay that's watered down. It's like glue. Okay, now I'm building up the walls and forming them into loopy shapes. I love getting my hands dirty. I love it when there's clay stuck inside my fingernails. There goes the manicure. I'm going to make 16 of these things, 2 for each little lobe. Again, we're going to slip and score. Now I got all these little loopy things on, and I have to make the base so that it'll have something to stand on. I'm going to cut the diameter of how big the base is going to be. Now I'm going to score the edges, and I'm going to add another coil to build up. One of the tricky things about making a cake stand is to make sure that it's level. If it's not level, the cake will just slide right off. Now I'm going to make a flange that fits inside this space, but goes inside here so that the two things will lock together. Once this is dry, I can take it out of the mold, put it in the kiln, and fire it. It'll take about 24 hours. See you in 24 hours. Now these have been best, and that's why they're orange. They've changed color in the kiln, but I don't want them to be orange. I'm gonna add some glaze and change the color. Doesn't it look like a cake to you? All these glazes really look sort of white. Can't really tell the difference now, but eventually they're going to be all different colors. Now that it's glazed, I'm going to put these two together, and when I put it in the kiln, the glaze is going to seal the two things together. It's going to come out shiny blue, and I'll have myself a cake stand. Look, it's all done. Now it's ready for a cake. It's ready for a party. It says Leanne rules.
Cake? Party? I am so there. Leanne got us started with a sensational cake stand. But what's a cake stand without the perfect accessory? It's time for more crafting from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay, as I was saying before, a lot of my pottery revolves around food, but I want to make a cake server that has a different handle on it. So I'm going to cut this off on an angle grinder, and I'm going to make a new ceramic handle for it. First of all, I'm going to make the top of the handle. Just make a ball, and I'm making like a little pinch pot. Okay, I'm going to take another piece and make the bottom part of the handle. Now I'm going to take the cake server part, and I make sure that it's going to fit. I got to make sure that when it's done being fired, it's still going to fit my cake server. Okay, I'm going to slip and score again, and we're going to put these two things together. Once it's dry, we're going to put it in the kiln, and we're going to fire it to this temperature. Now what I'm going to do is cover this in glaze. Once this is glazed, I pop it back in the kiln, and then I fire it again. It takes another 24 hours. It used to be kind of dull and matte, and now it's shiny and glossy. This is a 2-part putty epoxy, and I need equal parts of both A and B, and I'm going to mix the two together. I'm going to take this little wad of epoxy, and I'm going to shove it down in this hole. Now, I'm going to take my cake server, and I'm going to shove it in there. Now let it sit here for about an hour, and then it's ready to use. My ceramic cake server is done, and I had a cake left over from earlier, so I'm ready to put it to use. I say, let them eat cake.
With a cake server like that, your guests won't just be raving about the food, they'll be talking about the utensils too. There are fantastic crafters and great projects everywhere. You've just met 3 today. Be sure to check us out next time. We'll continue meeting crafters coast to coast.